Well, hello! Welcome to the back of my car. I started this whole thing not expecting to make a video out of this, but I'm trying to sort things out. My FTM-500 I've been having issues with, and I'm trying to rule things out. It's been under the driver's seat for a while now, and it's still having issues. I've powered it off. The onboard power, issues. Off a battery, issues. Put ferrites on the power cable, still issues. Put ferrites on the head separation cable, still issues. I'll make an insert there of what the issues look like. And it's basically the bottom VFO feels, it's almost as if the screen has a ghost touch and it just keeps on switching it. But it's not a ghost touch because you can't do anything with the bottom VFO unless you actually switch it on the button on the head. So there's something going on. I'm trying to rule things out. And the latest is that I remembered that in the back of my car, this compartment here normally has a blocking panel on it, and it's supposed to house a first aid kit. Well, when I bought the car, it was used, no first aid kit, and that looks like a good place for the radio. I can get it out of the way. The main battery for the car is on the opposite side, so I can use the under channel here to run the power directly to it. My antenna input is right there. It's a very short run. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the extra coax, but I'll figure it out. I'm going to take some of this apart, see if it's the location being under the driver's seat being the issue. I found out recently there is a module on there, a computer for the system on there under the driver's seat. So I'm hoping that's what's causing the issue. And if it is, then it's an issue with EMI shielding on the radio, but that's a story for a different day. I'm just trying to figure out how to make this radio work without it driving me insane. So let's take this thing apart, figure out what's what, and go from there. I know that there's a power cable here because I've already peeped it out. This cigarette lighter or 12 volt outlet I never used. I've thought about just tapping into it, but being so close to the battery, I may as well just go to the battery. Let me get a screwdriver and pop the trim off and see what we get. I tried finding videos online on how to take this trim off, and every video I've seen has skipped over the part I care about, which is this fabric trim piece. I'm hoping that it's just these pop terminals here liberated. That's a Torx bolt. Let me go get some Torx and get it out. Let's see, what's that? 40? No, 45 maybe. Nope, it's somewhere between a 40 and a 45. I'm hoping the 40 will do the job. Torx, that is. Dear automotive engineers, please, for the love of, use the same size bit on these things. Okay. Well, there is a Torx 30 to release that piece there. Is this also Torx 30? Of course not. But now the ratchet won't fit. How am I supposed to do this? Can I do this without popping that trim? No, I cannot. How to do this? How do I get that piece out of there? Is this piece part of it? Just get ugly with it? You know what? That's gonna have to do. All I need to do is route the coax. And I can do that by just moving that out of the way here. I really want to pop this entire thing off and figure out a better way of routing it. But it means I have to figure out a way of undoing this, and I don't see an obvious way. And all I have to do is route this thing through it to get the coax back into this cavity. I'm going to use the tried and true tactic of shoving it in. I'm going to leave a little bit of slack on the antenna side because slack I got plenty of. It seems like a reasonable thing to do. Closed one of my top rivets here, of course. My Torx bit set spilled over, and I'm gonna have to reorganize all of it. In this car, this trim has some room under it, so I'm not worried about the wire getting frayed on it. I keep on popping that thing down. Need to do that one. I think it was a T30. I went and had lunch, and while I was having lunch, I had the aha moment of realizing that I'm putting the cart in front of the horse. I need to undo all this again because I still need to route the cable that goes from the radio to the radio head. Can I get this done without having to fish the seat belts out again? Nope. I have to do it the hard way. Alright, let's find out if this cable is long enough. I'm not gonna fish the seat belts through yet, because I might have to do this all over again. Right, so I'm cheating out on routing this wire because I'm lazy. But basically I'm tucking it into the plastic trim for the center console. I'm hoping that it is long enough to wrap all the way up to the front and get to the console head here. That's gonna be tight. I'm hoping it's gonna be long enough that I can wrap around and get to the head of the radio here, but that is not looking likely. Not unless I take the radio, the broadcast radio out and route through the center of this thing, which is a possibility here. I have taken the broadcast radio out before, so I know how to get to the center console fairly easily. There we go. Thing is, there ain't a whole lot of room here. The Germans know how to put the stuff together. How do I do this? I really want to avoid having to take that broadcast radio off if I can. Is there any gap back there? Nope, there's no gap behind the display. I decided this is not going to be as pretty as I'd like it to be because I would love for all of this cable to route in and whatnot, but I just don't feel like taking this center console completely apart, so I'm just going to connect it here, and hopefully this is long enough to... Oh, look at that. Cool! Better lucky than skilled there. I can take this and swing it back down and get that cable sort of out of the way. Now the fun part about this one is that I actually know how to get to the battery because I've replaced the battery in this vehicle before. Do I know how to get to my screwdriver that I left back here somewhere? And we have our battery. I'm just trying to figure out now how I want to tap into that battery. Off camera, I went ahead and made this pigtail here. 2 terminals with forks on them, one side with power poles, and I'm going to get that on the car battery and then through this tray here to the radio. Now let's coil up. There's a part of me that wants to put all this excess antenna cable through a toroid. I may just do that before I'm done, but for now I just want to have an antenna connected before I connect the power and verify that this works. And then I'll button everything up. Oh, yeah, I already connected power. That was really bright of me. I want to connect the antenna before I connect the power. Yeah, I connected the power first. Dummy. All right, well, let's go to the front of the car and see if it turns on. Let's see. Oh, we have power. And apparently, someone has the key down on 7.6 somewhere. Let's see. There we go. Now let's go to the menu here and APO. Let's do a half hour. And that's gonna do it. Let's see if this solves my flip-flopping VFOB problem or not. I know I'm gonna have to live with this radio for a little bit longer, so I'm trying to mitigate how many headaches I get. hopefully this solves the problem completely and I don't have to get rid of the radio, because I like the radio otherwise. So it's a nice radio. Let's have a look at the final here, right? I went ahead and put some hook Velcro on the bottom of the radio. I had some command strips on there. I took them off, put some hook Velcro on it, and it's latching pretty well to the material that it's the soundproofing for the car over there. Went ahead and tidied up the antenna cable, wrapped the power cable a little bit tighter around that core in case it makes any difference. I didn't see any difference, but I didn't feel like taking it apart either. Took the excess, coiled it up there as well, another zip tie. We're tied in, and then the rest of this is going to go in place just fine. I'll bring you back in just a second when I snap everything back together. All right, everything buttoned up. Radio's back there. Let's see, I don't know if you can see the radio head way up there or not. It's on, it's working. I'm gonna wait a half hour to make sure that it turns itself off. Everything else got vacuumed and cleaned up. We're ready to roll. Hopefully this fixes the problem and I won't have to worry about this anymore. Catch you guys on the next one. 7-3.